Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jamstar's Corner. Who have we got here? Let me just fix up my sleeve. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the live. To be completely honest with you, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about, but I thought we could start with some photos. But is there anything, if someone would like, if you have a question, or if you'd like to, if you'd like to ask a question or suggest something, do that in the comments. And while it's quiet, I can sort of have a read and connect with you. I've also got the cards here, but we'll see how we go if we need to consult the cards. But they're there. They're there for you. All right. Let's start. I think there might be a bit of a time delay. So yeah, but if you do have any questions, like if you do want to make a comment for me to look at, maybe we should devise some sort. What did Martha Stewart here? Oh, M just asked a question like, what did Martha Stewart hear? That's really interesting, M, because I don't think it's actually, it's not so much about what, I got the feeling from Martha Stewart, because I only saw a tiny glimpse. I got the feeling from Martha Stewart, and the whole thing about this Martha Stewart story is not the fact that there was, specific information that was divulged. It was the fact that she opened her mouth. So Martha Stewart's kind of suggesting that, Rachel can't keep her mouth shut, which is very interesting. And I just saw a message. There's a Silver Moon's in the comments. So Silver Moon, I just wanted to say thank you for your emails. Now I have to apologize because I didn't see them until today. So I will reply to you. But I just realized I haven't looked at a couple of my emails for ages. And there was a couple of emails there from Silver Moon. So Silver Moon, I will comment. I'll send you a message. Let me see. So I really feel like that Martha Stewart thing is more about conduct and reputation and the fact that she can't keep her mouth shut. And, that but I loved that. But I love that about Martha Stewart, that she sort of brought that up. It's about sort of talking about what you don't do in those circles. You don't talk about, but see, didn't Harry get caught doing exactly the same thing about Courtney Love? Not Courtney, is it Courtney? The Friends, the girl in Friends, I can't remember her name, Courtney something, to do, with the fridge and mushrooms, that kind of, there's just things that you don't do if you're going to be mixing in those circles. So I feel like they're not cut out for the job. Courtney Cox, thank you, Happink. Courtney Cox. Hey, one thing that did occur to me before we look at some photos, one thing that did occur to me is that in this story, yesterday I did a couple of videos about Rachel. I'm really fascinated by the whole Rachel name and the identity. Like I've said to you many times that I feel like identity there are people here playing with identities and disguises. We can go back to Snow White and, Grimhilde and like other witches. But it really, we've talked about the distortion of time. There's a distortion of identities. Now, I'm it's really interesting the identities that people have taken on board in this story. And there are little things now that are starting to occur to me as we awaken. I'm going to say we. Though I feel like all the Jam stars have this energy of awakening. And back in 2022, 2019, 2017, we didn't see the whole picture. Our perspective, you know, we saw one perspective, but now as we sort of start to stand back, we can see other interesting parts of this story. And I wanted to just say, like, I'm finding it very interesting listening back to stories and changing my perspective, because now little pieces of the puzzle are starting to join. One of these things, I should have actually, I really should have a notepad next to me, because I get these flashes, and then, I start on a rant, and then I forget what. Anyway, there was no theme to this particular catch up. I just thought we'll just workshop it as we go. So there are things in this story, and the first one was that occurred to me maybe 2 weeks ago, was we've talked about the alchemical marriage, we talked about the philosopher's stone, and we've talked about in that alchemical marriage, there's the blackening, the negredo, the blackening phase, the whitening phase. Well, first is the whitening phase, then the blackening phase, and then the reproduction or the creation of the reddening, the red phase, the rubedo, which is the philosopher's stone, which is the red child, right? Now I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm pretty sure that most of the Jam stars will have you will have heard this a few times, so I'm hoping that it's sort of starting to sink in. The rubedo, the philosopher's stone, the child that is born of the alchemical marriage is a child that is represented in red and is neither male or female, right? And what I'm sort of thinking about is that our society has entered into a phase of the reddening. Now, think about all the times now when I say red, I know I can just feel it. The Jam stars have some images in their heads about red. And that's really important. Like, think about who is portraying themselves in a red phase. Who went from one phase to another phase and represented themselves in red. I'm not going to say it, you know it. You know who it is. This not only in this story, there are mentions of children and red. There are people with names that mean red. There are all these things. Also Hollywood. Think of all the Hollywood people, identities, that there's a question about when they're performing, there's a change of identity, that they get themselves into almost a trance-like before they perform. Now think of it, there's more than one, there's many of them. But when you think about these people, think about, do they have or do they promote in their songs monsters or children that, there's this whole thing. But then look at Hollywood social media and, the new, it's always, you need to hone in on who are the people promoting children that are neither male or female. And this is what I want to sort of say, is that I believe, or I feel, and this is what I feel, it's my opinion, it's my feeling, that there's a communication, that they're doing this to communicate something to someone or to some organization or to something. And what's interesting in this particular story with our friend, the innocent lamb, is I feel that there's been communication to the same sorts of entities, but we haven't noticed them. And this also goes back to the British royal family. There are messages. Now, if you think very carefully about, there was a guy that used to be a prince, but he's no longer a prince. Remember in his interview, he said that he couldn't have been involved in a certain controversy because he was at a party. And so because he was at this party, remember that the party was actually a children's party. Well, it was a children's night out. It was a children's event or like a dinner, right? Do you remember where that was? And be careful. So isn't that, there's a message there. I'm going to ask the cards. So I'm not going to call it out, but yes, in the comments, you're quite right. Now, what does that relate to? Doesn't that relate to someone? Isn't the whole point of that interview? The whole point of that interview was his relationship with that particular person. So, for him to mention, it didn't occur to me until this morning. I don't know why. I woke up, I was getting ready to do this, and then I all of a sudden realized that, was the whole purpose of that interview to send a message, was to let people know, the people maybe that he was connected to, it was kind of like a message to them. Like it wasn't, because that interview was so strange, so bizarre. And so the thing is, okay, so that's one. That's the guy. That's the guy. Auntie Orange's partner. The guy. Now, the guy used to go to, he was like, the guy used to go to Thailand. He's been to parties. He's associated. Did he go to parties on yachts? There are photos of him on yachts. Now, what I want to ask you, what was I going to ask the cards? I forgot. See, I get it. I forgot. I can't ask the cards because I completely forgot what I was talking about. Let me just finish before I touch the cards. So we were talking about yachts. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's actually quite serious, but it's just like, see, the other person that's related to yachts, this is kind of really silly, is that she's also mentioned children's parties. Now, think about that. She's mentioned children's parties and pool, like the things that you blow up to use in the pool, right? If you remember, and someone will write it in the comments, do you remember what those blow up, what are they, toys? Like they're things that you blow up and you sit on in the pool. And she was saying that her favorite things to blow up that the kids really love were in the shape of pizza slices. Do you remember? Now, again, you're very welcome. For anyone that's listening in, pool toys, yes. Thank you, Happy Ink. At this point, you're more than welcome to call me crazy, cray-cray, absolutely hysterical. But I think it's very interesting because these people, they're being interviewed. They have a choice to say whatever they like. And I think that this whole point of what they're doing is that they're so clever. Aren't they so clever? That they will drop things and say things that you and I, the stupid people, will never have a clue what they're talking about. But they're talking in coded message to someone else. So these messages were to acknowledge. Now, we've seen it many times with other people in Hollywood, this belief of, you know, well, one is that they dress up their kids have no gender, they're the reddening, the rubedos, the philosopher's stones of their time, the new signaling the new time, the postmodern time, right? Yeah, I was going to say something, but I'm not because that's very it's a little bit judgmental. Look, it's obviously PR. Ah, Michelle said, wouldn't be here if I thought you were crazy. I know, Michelle. You know why I say that? Because I work with people much younger than myself. And what society has trained this next generation is not to be like jam, not to question, not to see. And I think that's actually, they see or they choose to see things that they want, but they're driven by guilt. They're driven by the thought that they're privileged, or that they're driven by the thought that anything slightly critical is bad. Critical bad, thinking bad, seeing, opening your eyes and seeing an objective truth is bad, because we're in a very we're in the middle, or hopefully the end of the postmodern era. And postmodernism is about taking things that are of objectively true and converting them, rewriting truth. It happened in art. Now, I, as a young, starting off in my career, like at college, loved the idea of taking bits and pieces of different art, influences and turning them into a new design. That is postmodernism. So that would have started, like postmodernism, I'm not exactly sure when postmodernism started, but now in 2026, we're well and truly into a postmodern era. But I think the children that were born of this time are going to have a very difficult time decoding and working out what is objectively true. They actually have an aversion to objective fact. Now, isn't that, as a society, isn't that bad? But I want to say that I'm going to put I'll just quickly pop a picture up, because I think we need to look at this is the effect of the postmodern, that these people have their own truth. You can't question their truth because it's their truth. That is postmodern. That is what the postmodern era has produced. That you can't question, you can't look at things with fact. And so these are agents of postmodernism. They're going to reshape, they can say whatever they like. It's like, I was going to say it's like Hollywood, but it is like Hollywood. It's like storytelling. It's a story, and we see the story. I'm just going to pan out a little bit, because I want you to see, if I can pan out, Yeah. I want to pan out. And as I pan out, I want you to sort of read this as a story. This is a story. It's a story of pictograms. We've said this before. But isn't it, it's very interesting when you treat this as one image. Don't treat it as multiple images. Look at it as one whole image. I see this as each one of these images is carefully crafted. Was that a procession? I didn't even know. Oh, well, see, that's interesting, isn't it? Thank God. Yeah, there's no music, but we can sort of play that. So this is saving the children. It's obviously saving the children. So this is a carefully crafted. I didn't even know. I didn't realize. I thought there was one still. But isn't that interesting that? Well, I had to turn that off because I can't stand. I would say this is carefully crafted. This is very carefully crafted. I was just looking at, I don't know. So this is a bench. See, this is carefully crafted. I'll tell you why it's carefully crafted. This is carefully crafted, and let me just, you know what we can do? Let's pick apart this photo. So I have a very strange feeling that this is actually not a real photo. Can we look at this for a second? This is a bench on a footpath, and what is that? This frame that's been placed. That's not real. I can sense it. Like it's not. Hang on. Let me see if I can blow this up. Can I go in? Excuse me, we can. Can you see that? Let me blow that up even more. Again, we're doing this on the fly. I wasn't anticipating this photo, but anyway, I think we can pick any photo and just question. So this is what they don't want to do. They don't want you to question. Number one, it's a frame of some description with a glass front. So if you were going to sit on that, are you meant to sit on this seat and rest your back on a piece of glass? So that's my first question. Number two, what is in the glass? So there's a frame. See this, how it's see this, how it's sitting on the edge of the seat? So number one, what I want to suggest to you that why this is a fake photo. So there are timber slats here that you sit on. So number one, is this glass frame the back of the chair, the back of the seat, or should we see timber slats here as the backrest? But what the hell is this? And what are these reflections? It's very hard. You might have to look on your own screen, like to see these reflections, but let's just have a closer look. I'm getting the feeling that whatever this image was, it was taken. Are these windows? It looks like there's this very light reflected, like, I don't know if they're, my first impression, it's only an impression. I don't know what it is. I get the feeling that these are either a glare from a screen, because these look like seats, like chairs, but I don't know. Like I'll have to spend some time. But what are these scratches, or are they scratches or a design? I don't know. It's very bizarre. That's very bizarre to have for this So I suppose I don't think we have any of our US Silver Moon. You're in the USA. Does this look like something? I know that you're not in California, um, but have you seen this anywhere in the USA? Like a on a footpath, like a public seat that has this kind of glass panel on the back of the seat. Jam, have a look at the 199 sign. I'm not sure, Happink, about the. I'm not in the US. I don't know what that. I know I have. I think we have discussed. Silver Moon says it looks like a green chalkboard in my. A green chalkboard. Yeah, it just looks highly reflective. That's all. Like, these don't look like drawings, but I see where you're going. I see where you're going with that. So the important thing, though, is that it's a very strange thing to have in a photo in whatever this is, 19. 19. Oh, I see. Okay, I get what Happink's saying. I would say this is well, looking at her, this is 19 in the mid 1980s. Is that what we're supposed to think? That this is 1980? I'm not good with numbers. Oh, hang on. Silver Moon said, bus benches have advertising like a billboard. Okay. Well then, okay, I stand corrected, Silver. There could be advertising. I can't see what, I just can't tell what that advertising would be. There's no words or anything on it, but okay, I take that on board, Silver. Thank you. Can we, let's have a look at, what's the word? What did we say they were? Bus benches. Bus benches examples in the USA. Let's see. Let's have a look. California. It might not bring up anything. I just thought let's have a look. Images. Oh, you're right. There's one. So, okay. Silver, you may be, you're onto something. There are obviously, yeah, I've never seen that in Australia. Okay, I take that. So let's see, 19. How old do you think she was there? So was she 7? What year was it born? It said it was born in 1981? So if so that would be 1987 or so, wouldn't it? Like 1987. So, okay, it is possible then, because these are examples, and so they're they've got the wooden slats. Well, I am a very lucky jam for having Silver Moon in the comments, because Silver Moon, I would never have guessed that. So I suppose it is possible. It is possible. Thank you so much. All right. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to workshop. So, and as I've always said, we don't know exactly. We're just exploring. We're just workshopping and asking questions. So that's what we're here for. We're here to ask a question, and Silver Moon, one of the Jam Stars, has supplied us with some information that. Because I'm Australian, I just would never have guessed that was actually that was a thing. So this could be what looks like an advertising board. I don't know what the image is. I can't tell what that image is. And so if this is 19, I'm just wondering. As I said, let's talk about Ralph's. I think Silver Moon, we've discussed Ralph's before, haven't we? I'm pretty sure it was Silver Moon that mentioned Ralph's, or, it could have been just a Jen. We've had this discussion before. Ralph's, California. Oh, that's it. That's Ralph's. Okay. So it's a fish. Is it a fish or fresh? Oh, fresh fare. Ralph's fresh fare. I just wanted to just get my head around. So, okay, so Ralph's is kind of like a grocery store. So she would have been standing out the front of a grocery store with her cookies, right? So what I'm interested in is that advertising. Let's go Ralph's, California, LA, 1980. Let's go 1985 ads. Just to see. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just having a quick look if there's any. It's a bit of a stretch. So in her photo, I'm just thinking. Well, look, it could be possible. The only thing I don't know what is I don't know what is a dollar. Is something, is that porterhouse? I think it says porterhouse. I think it's a steak. Sorry. Sharing the screen, you can see that I'm such a bad type. Oh dear. Oh, here's a porterhouse steak, Angus. But is it 1985? $5. Well, $5. Right. Well, the first thing I would like to say, in my mind, only in my mind though, is that this is a Ralph's. Is it? It is a Ralph. It looks like a Ralph's steak. It looks like an. Oh, I can't see the price. Okay, what I will say, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like, is that if this is a steak from 1985 and it's $5, is it? Is that possible? Then that's a lot more than 199. So the photo is before. So this is Ralph's in nine. Oh, it's a commercial from 1980. The photo's not from 1980. Hmm. Sorry, we should are we all okay to do this sort of workshop while we're on a live? Um, so these photos are from. That's $6.99. I've got a funny feeling. I just have a funny feeling. I've just got an inkling that this might be. I typed in 1987 and 1985. I've got a funny feeling that this is earlier. Might be, if this is a real photo, as we've discovered, like this is possible, having the chair like this, that why do I think that says porterhouse? I'm thinking that's a steak. Just let me have a quick look at the messages. It's Silver said it's common for them to sell cookies outside grocery stores. Okay, great to know. Yep, that's good. Happy with that. What else have we got here? Someone said porterhouse steak for $1.99 sounds awfully cheap, but yes, it just depends on the year that was taken. Michelle said probably not so normal to sell them next to an ad for the Heart of Darkness. Let me quickly. Oh, someone said, look up when porterhouse steak was $1.99 in California. Okay, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that's a good idea, actually, Silver. Let's have a look. When was porterhouse steak $1.99 at Ralph's in LA? Okay, let's have a look. Thinking a porterhouse steak was priced at $1.99 per pound in Southern California. Blah blah blah. Advertisements during the early to mid 1970s, specifically around 1973 and 1974. Okay. Do you know what I'm thinking? I knew Happink would jump, but Happink, we won't say too much, will we? That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. The other thing I have to say in her defense is that this may not be current. Like it may not have been an ad. Like sometimes shops put up things and they don't take them down. So that could have been a while ago. But I doubt that would have been there for 10 years. All right, let's go back. We were talking about the image, looking at all the images together as a story. Now, as a story, like it's kind of interesting. There's so many things that we can unpack here. The story started at the beach, right? The story started at the beach when she scribbled, when she left the Madonna in the sand at the beach, Yamaya, the blessing from Yamaya, to start. She started this whole story, the whole story that you're looking at, started with a beach blessing. So let's talk about beach blessings and the sea and Yamaya, the mother. So if you look at this, if you just take one theme only, like let's just look at mother, sea, Yamaya, right? You will notice that in these, so here we go. Yamaya is the mother, the great mother of the ocean, a goddess blessing. And oh, look, it's the great mother blessing, right? Now, this is someone's Instagram. So I want to know why this photo is important in her. It is important in her story. But do you see the connection? We can jump. Oh, the great mother. So we just go, oh, the great mother. Here she is, the great mother. Let's go further up. Do we see any other great mother? Great mother, looking for great mother. 1, great mother. 2, the great mother. Great mother, great mother, great mother, great mother. Here we go. Great mother. Back at the sea. Yamaya. So there's a lot like I will say great mother doesn't know how to iron. This is a feral photo, might I say. Like this is like not what to do for PR. That is just, I don't know. There's no words. So see how just taking a theme, like there's a beach, at the beach. I think one of the other great themes of this, the great themes of this story is the jewelry and flowers. There's jewelry, there's flowers, there's strawberries, royalty, to do with royalty. There's honey. We've seen that. There's beagles. There's chalice. Okay. Of all the things that we have discussed, Vestal virgin, Vestal dress, honey, jam, fruits of the forest, jam, chalice, the chalice, the athame. See the athame sitting there? Pointing to the pomegranate. There's no mistake. These are strawberries. There's a pomegranate. There's a bowl of fruits of the forest. Um, I look. I know. I think not many. There aren't too many people that would look at that and sort of read what we're looking at. To understand what we're looking at. Does that make sense to you? Like, if a normal, are we're not normal. It's just that we just have an appetite for undoing postmodernism. So many people will look at that and see and say, like the people at work, my friends at work would say, "You, Jamie, you're just crazy to be looking at that, like, to try and read all of that." But I can safely say that to you, each one of the Jam stars that are here. I can easily say that to you, and you will immediately know that in one photograph, to have this outfit, to have this dog, to have honey and jam, the offering, and a chalice. Look at that glass. Is that a normal? No, is that a normal glass to be drinking Bacchus offerings out of? Then you have the athame. I've always said to you, look for the athame. The athame pointing to the pomegranate. I mean, how much jam can you have on a table? Jam, 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 jam. I'm just having a quick look at, I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this because I think, let's talk about this photo, the energy of this photo. I'll do it like this so that let's talk about this photo. Is everyone enjoying themselves? Is everyone? Michelle said, I can hear my own great mother saying she's not a mother's bootlace. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice to be with Jam Stars. It's so lovely. Thank you for joining me this morning. And thank you for, making me realize that. And this is why the Jam Stars Corner or the Jam Scam started, because it was just a little bit of a different perspective from what everyone else is saying. And the other thing is that, this communication is not, we're looking at someone communicating to someone, like to something that we're not quite sure of, or to some people. She may be communicating to other entities that believe the same thing, that are practicing the same thing. It may be her desperation to join, shall I use the word coven? Do you know what I mean? If you look at her friends have very similar messaging to do with great feminine, sacred feminine, the moon. They have similar dogs. They have similar interests. I mean, of course, friends would have similar interests. I think, yes, I think Silver Moon's right. She's trying to fit in. She's trying to fit into a community of like-minded people, and that could be something like the shop, The Godmothers. Who goes to the Godmothers? Who's been seen at the Godmothers? That white barn. Happink said that comment you made about Bacchus, can't pronounce that, offerings, Bacchus, just transported me right back to the Paris Olympics. Yes, Silver Moon said 100%. Yes, that's Harris, for me, just communicated the blackening phase, the dark. So this image, let's talk about Godmother's shop, like communicating. Is she communicating to people? Like, let's just generally cards, like take a deep breath and let's look at the communication in this photo. Like, Jam, am I sort of on the right path, in terms of what this collection of symbols means? Am I on the right path? Notice the signs. This is like the path forward. Now, I will say that the path, I was going to say, I'm just being careful about what I say. Can I? So yes and no. I'm going to say path. Yes, but there's something else, and I get this feeling a lot that I'm not understanding something about this. Yeah. So there are signs here. There are signs and there's a path, but I think the card's telling me that I don't fully comprehend the levels at which, and there's Hecate, so that's what I want to show you. The path forward into the night. So it's very dark. So I feel like the energy here is dark. And I don't know enough about it to fully comprehend what's going on here. But I think there's something. So the reason I say that was because I needed to sort of understand. So this is a very interesting message from the cards. It is about the path, and it is about, right here it says, give yourself permission to follow the path forward. So I feel like the cards want to say, let me just quickly, I haven't touched my cards for such a long time. I feel like it's probably time to do a Tarot C reading. We'll do it on the Tarot C channel. But I don't know enough about people like Oprah. I don't, there's something here, and I'm sorry if you feel like it's, you may feel a little bit scared. I do feel, I don't think we should be scared. These are people that have used they're trying to use energy to their advantage. And so this kind of communication is to those people, like that, that she's got the cups and I could see, I was going to say, in this image, there's a cup and a sword. Is there a coin and a wand? So the two possible things that I'm not quite seeing are the wand and the cup. Sorry, the wand and the coin. It's not clear in this picture. It's about cups and swords. Cups comes up a lot. Let's have a look. Oh, here's the coin. So this message to me is about, this is the Ace of Coins in the Carte Napoletane. It's the big one. It's the big one. It's the big O. It's it's the communication to manifest. The coin is so in our lives, in our ordinary lives, money and coin is how we buy things, how we transact. So here we're seeing a transaction. These are offerings to manifest. Now, a lot of people aren't going to see that. They're not going to kind of understand that these are offerings. The fact, you know what makes me really know that it's about the dog. That dog to me, the beagle, the hound of Diana, the goddess, the hunting dog. Because remember very early, so this is another one, this is another video that I will post, repost, was my my theory that there was Santeria involved in all of this. The reason then was that I noticed that in Santeria, on the islands, in the Caribbean, they lay out a table, or they lay out an offering to the goddess, and they place all these sweet treats. These are all part of that offering. So she's not the defender of a faith. She is the identity of many faiths. And that, my friends, is why it's very difficult to pinpoint anything, because she's multi-faith. So who wants to defend her? Think about it. Think about a person of many different beliefs bombarding you with many different symbols from many different faiths. The trick is understanding where it started. Where did it all start? Let me have a look. Yeah, when you think about multiple symbols, multiple disguises, multiple traditions or practices, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a confusion, creating a confusion of not being able to pinpoint. We can't pinpoint her birth. We can't pinpoint her youth, and think about who erased it. The defender erased it. The defender of multiple faiths came to her aid and used resources to eliminate, to erase, made it easier. They didn't actually do it physically like themselves, but certainly had the resources and organizations to be able to see that through. Now, why would they do that? Have you ever thought about, I don't know. I'm going to confuse the cards, but why would they do that? Why would they help? Why would they come to the aid? Why would they come to the aid? Are we on the right track with that? Why would they come to the aid? Because it's all a story about the Garden of Eden. It's religious. It's much deeper. This is possibly why this is possibly why we're not quite understanding the full extent. But the Garden of Eden is definitely, I have got the biggest goosebump wave. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but for the Garden of Eden, this is about going back to the beginning, going back to the origins of these people. They have a similar origin. The Garden of Eden, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. Now, isn't that weird that can I show you that? How can I show you? We could go to, let me just quickly go to, what am I looking for? What did I do? We did the summer holidays shorts. Was it a short? Ah, yes, it's this one. It was, I can't show the, you'll probably be able to hear that. It's not working though. It's not working. But in this one, as Eve, this is a little video about the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. And what I'm sort of saying here is Rachel. Oh, I'm pointing to the screen and you can't see it. That there's Rachel and there's As Ever. But my theory about As Ever is that she walks barefoot in the Garden of Eden. Now, Lilith was the first woman in the Garden of Eden, but the second woman in the Garden of Eden that God created apparently was Eve. And so is that why she walks around barefoot? She walks around barefoot in her garden in her Vestal Virgin dress, picking fruits. I'll just make that larger so you can see. Picking fruit from the tree. That's really interesting because I had just done that. I had made this, what do you call it, thumbnail, but then I realized that it's exactly the same. It's a replica, because this was about, mum, if the children say, "Mama, can we have dessert?" We say, "If you can pick it, you can have it. If you can pick it, you can have it." So to me, my mind went back to Eve and the Garden of Eden and picking the fruit from the tree of knowledge. But see, the interesting thing is, let me go back. So the interesting thing about As Ever is I read it as Eve and then which at one point I thought it was Rex, like how the royals write Rex like Regina after the name, Elizabeth Regina, or Charles Rex. I thought As Eve Rex, but it's actually, well, I don't know. My thought in my, I will use postmodernism to my advantage now, is that I would say that that brand is As Eve Rachel. The R. So there we go. As Eve, the Garden of Eden, As Eve Rachel. Oh, lovely. The color blue. Accurate thought. It's intuition, insight, communication. This is about articulating thoughts and feelings and ideas, about communication. Excellent. Thank you. As Eve, Rachel. As ever, Rachel. But I do think the cards really pinpoint the Garden of Eden. And a lot of the images that we have seen, let's go back to, quickly, let's go back to this, to, sorry, I'm saying that, but not, so let's have a look at, okay, so we did the mother and Yamaya. Let's have a look at, there's the dog. Let's have a look at images in this collection that relate to the Garden of Eden. In my, see, the other thing is she's got Invictus here. I am. What? So that obviously is important as well. And I feel like that I am Invictus is possibly her idea, like that she was involved. I don't know if it was her idea. She was involved in it. That's why she appears at those games. She's taking ownership of it, that she was involved in the idea. So let's go to, I don't know if this is really a Garden of Eden, kind of. The thing that pinpoints why I think are the golden orbs. These are mandarins that she grows, or clementines, whatever they are. Let's go through this Garden of Eden. So here we see garden, and what? And the dog. We go through garden, golden orbs. Keep going. Garden, the Garden of Eden. Now, I don't know where this is. I'll have to have a look at the aerial photo of the house. I'm just going to, okay, but garden and the great palm. Now, sorry, let's go back to garden, because I want you to understand, like the part we've talked about the palms. So this is part of that multi-faith thing, that the tree of knowledge and the tree of life can be any tree, basically. We're sort of told that the tree of knowledge was a fruiting tree because they weren't supposed to eat of the fruit of the tree, but we don't know what that fruit is. So cultures have taken, like they've sort of given it its own own fruit according to their culture. But in African culture, the god, I can't remember his name now, but the god of, he lives in a palm tree, and that's why the palm tree is significant, and sort of maybe the tree of, and not so much the tree of knowledge. It's actually the tree of protection, I suppose. But it's interesting that, palm trees in this particular story do appear quite a few times. And this god, so they're next to each other. The sun god, Apollo, and the sun, and Arche, the energy of the sun. Overlooking the garden, and what do we see here? Garden. Well, this is not so much garden. I don't know where this is, but again, there's a tree. I don't know if that's the same tree, but these are obviously bees and their honey pot. And we go back, overlooking the garden. Running through the garden. So there's lots of different, here's the garden. garden, but we do need to speak garden and the palms, but we do need to talk about balloons. Now, this is a work in progress. I'm not exactly sure what these balloons mean. I have a funny feeling that these images may not be 100% real. I mean, the fact that this balloon doesn't have a string, and this is not string, this is ribbon. So it's quite visible. And it's red string or red ribbon against a green background. So you would see it. But balloons, keep that in mind. Garden altar, creating an altar in the garden. Oh, there was something here. Okay. Don't know where this is, but interesting. Garden, balloons. We do need, balloon. There's something not right about these balloons. The message, I'm not quite sure what the message is, but let's, balloons we've gone through, we've gone red, we've gone, garden, she's had too much, lying in the garden. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Like, garden and 3 little eggs. How lucky to find a nest on the ground. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? 3 little eggs on the ground. I mean, yeah. Sorry, let's go back. Can I go back to what did I click on? Was it this one? Was it the no, it wasn't the chickens, was it? Oh, garden. Oh, egg. So what did I click on that had oh, it was the garden. Okay, let's go through people. Garden, altar. Oh, garden. Setup, like setups. Snake eggs. Silver. Oh dear. I can't remember what. But isn't that, it's so strange. Garden and gate. Like who is at the gate? Who is the goddess of paths and gateways? You don't, like, as I said, like most people won't notice the altar setup. Now, everything is geared up to have this photo is to be in front of this camera. This is not a table that just sits in the garden. This is a setup, and we have to put Lilith under the table. Now, this is interesting because this photo was actually taken on the dark moon, the new moon, the dark moon. And who is the goddess, or who is the... I shouldn't call her a goddess because it's more of an entity rather than a goddess. But it's what her name, I think, is. Let me just... it doesn't do it. I thought it would zoom in, but... So, I cannot recall what I clicked on. Oh, maybe it was this. Oh, no, there's nothing here. Garden, swamp, standing in a swamp. Who stands in a swamp? But you know what, swamps and peat, like certain people, like, that love certain practices, love a swamp peat, like, was it this? No, there wasn't this one. Oh, that was the... So anyway, I think you get the idea that there's many... Oh, it was maybe this one. This in the garden. Ah, here we go. The snake eggs. Yes. Now, remember I said to you last week, always look at their legs. Their legs are always in the same... They're always in the same bloody position. The foot the foot, their stand, what they're doing. There's always a leg. There's always a heel in the air. Have you noticed? I just don't understand. No, I do understand, like, because it's not real. And why do I need to look down your top and at your crutch? Is there something else in this photo that I'm meant to see? Am I meant to see bad taste, like denim on denim? Am I meant to see that you're not? Are you wearing a bra? Like, what the hell? What are you showing me? And quite frankly, I don't want to be looking at your snake eggs. Now, can we talk about this? What is she doing? Who cuts that like that? There's something about this. There's something weird about this. Where is this? I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's like hundreds of kitchens because like everything looks different. Where is this? Because she's standing in front of a window. Her kitchen, I'm not sure. Anyway, I shouldn't really say much because I don't really know. But here we go. Tangled mess. Now, can I... Oh, this kid is so... let me just ask the cards. I'll come back. There's something, like I'm going to ask the cards in my mind, cards, you know the question, and then I'm going to pick the card. I'm going to tell the Jam Stars what I'm thinking. It's to do with her clothing. So I'm just going to think about it for a second. About her clothing and her hair, but there's just something I noticed, and I just wanted to know whether I want to show a close-up of her clothes because I'm looking at her clothes and the prints in her clothes, and I'm just wondering whether these are real or whether... Is there a message? Well, obviously there is. What's your advice? Earth. Ground yourself. Earth. Well, the reason I wanted to ask the cards about earthing and grounding is that I noticed something in this photo, and I think what I'll do is I'll share with you my thought. Because last week, let me do this. I didn't notice this before. It's all like tiny little details. I want to show you this. And we will zoom in. Can you see the print? Yeah, the t-shirt is Beyonce. Now, remember the swimsuit that we did last week had palm trees. We just talked about palm trees and the history, the origin of the palm tree, the significance to the Yoruba people, Africa. Can you see the print of her pants? We've talked about strawberries and offerings, and something that Happink had just mentioned is we talked about today about Hollywood and performers and them going into trances and taking on identities. This message is for a person, a high-ranking person. I'm glad, like, I think people are catching on. I think the Jam Stars understand. I love it. Thank you. Oh, this is the ironing. Oh, so I have to go back. I'm pressing the wrong button. That is so weird. Let's have a look. It doesn't look like she's chopping anything. That looks like AI. Look at how look at the chop, and then all of a sudden, is it AI? No. Something just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like, that's not how you chop. Do you know what the message? You know what I just read that message as? I'm stabbing at the thing that made me cry. I'm stabbing at the thing that made me cry. And the thing that you're supposed to notice in this photo are the 3 bracelets. Let's go. Let's move. Garden. The one and only. But how many times did she write over? That's not her. That's not calligraphy. The one and only. The one and only what? And how many times did you write over it? 3 times. So is that an intention? Is that piece of paper meant to go, you're supposed to fold it up and put it in a jar of honey? Are you supposed to fold it up or are you supposed to burn it over a candle? The one and only. And the sleeping hound. And can I just suggest for all the ladies in the room, next time you buy some eggs at the shop, why don't you leave them outside in the sun? Hey? Next time you're working with eggs, leave them out in the sun, please. In the garden, next to the agapanthus. Leave them out in the sun with maybe some dried flowers or herbs next to them. Make sure the eggs are in the sunlight. Make sure that sunlight can, so some are in shadow, but make sure they're in the sunlight. So I will just leave it there. Now let's do a time check. How long are we going? How long have we been going for? And we'll just finish up with that last. Now, the other thing too, the latest photos is this. Now, this is not taken, my feeling, it's only my feeling. This photo was not taken at Montecito. This is not a banyan tree, but I don't know if that is, but there's some very they're not strange trees. It's just that they're not trees. This landscape and this pool is not where she says she is. This is somewhere else. Now, look at her feet. Strange feet, strange angles. So she jumped. Where did she jump? Can you see the problem with this photo? Where did she jump from? The other thing is there's a rope here. Give her enough rope to swing from, but she didn't swing from the rope. She might have, but that's probably the suggestion, is that it swung from a tree, but it obviously leaped off a rock. It leaped off a rock into a pool. But it's very strange. There's quite a significant distance there, and the height just doesn't look like that's right. Now, this photo would have been taken. This is a capture from a video. If it is real, it would have been taken. There would have been a video, and the video would have been stopped exactly where she needed it to stop. Now, it's interesting. As I said to you before, it's like the Lilith photo with the balloons. There's something strange with balloons going on. This balloon, where is the string for this balloon? It's being dragged along as this dead weight leaps off the rock. But the strange thing is is that in the next photo, so the rope that just doesn't make sense. Actually, I don't think the trees make sense. Is that tree? So what's here? Oh yeah, that tree looks the same. But there's something different about the tree. I'm going to quickly do this again, my friends. Let's quickly look at. There's something different about the trees, and I think it's the space in the tree. Let's have a look. Let's do this. We will make it smaller. And we'll move to this photo. Oh, come on, move. Why doesn't it move? Oh, there we go. Can you see what's wrong with this photo? Even though it's taken from, see here, the foliage has been manipulated. Like this is fake. This has been added in. It's different. It's a different tree line. This has been, it's all been changed. They're two different, it's two different scenes. Can you see that? Jam stars? See how this is all fake. This is all AI. This is not the same. It's not the same photo. I mean, it's not the same set of trees. The AI stuffed up. Also, see how the edge of the pool, she jumped in here. But see how they're suggesting that she jumped. Can I put these close together? The distance, this looks like at any moment she's going to touch that water. But this is further out. Now, as I said to you, this would have been taken with, this would have been film. Oh, and there's the giveaway that it's fake. If you count the balloons, right, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. See these 4 dark balloons? Well, here, there's 4, but see one of them's light. They're not the same shade. And then this balloon, Happy Birthday, it's now perfectly in frame. Ah, dear. It's completely fake. I think M said fake. Who would have thought? Ah, dear, it's so funny. I love it. Oh, look. Yes, I agree with you, M. I love M so much. Like, I love the comments. My friends, I think, well, what can we say? We kind of know this. Oh, let's have a look at this one. This is interesting. Is that water in the background? Does anyone know what this event? This was just recent as an event. So was the event on a ship? Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking because this is water in the background. And here's a armrest. So are they on a lifeboat? Now I'm just going to wait for the Jam Stars to have a look and let me know. M says it's in Canada. Oh, let me just quickly. Sorry, something's happening with my. So M, is this photo is this event in Canada, is it? Because the next one is them. walking. No, these are all Scottish. Like, I don't know what this event was, but it was just taken recently. You know what? I have to say, I do actually like her dress. I'm going to, yeah, I do love it. I love that dress. Yeah, it's not a bad dress. I love it. I love asymmetry. I love the cape. Anyway, I have to be honest. You know, I'm not here to just bag her completely, but I do like that dress. The interesting thing is, you know, it's strange. Oh, Sarah, thank you. It's okay. If you no worries, you can watch it back. We're just doing a little bit of a just doing a bit of a workshop. Um, you know, when you look at people and you sort of read, it's just an energy read. The energy read of her face, like I want to say, oh, someone said, please don't praise the black sheep. But it's true, I do like it. I do actually. I've always loved, as a fashion student, I loved a bit of asymmetry, and I do actually like the cape. But I'm not. I have to be honest. Um, okay. The only thing is, like, there's energy. There's energy in this face, actually in both faces, that I just. I'm going to say, and it's actually to do with his face. And there's something in here that if I look, it's like you look in the face, and then you go, "Do I know this person?" Like, I'm feeling like it's a different. Not, I'm not saying it's a double or anything. Like, I'm just saying that there's been a shift in their energy. Like, I feel like there's been a shift. The only thing I will say about this dress, I mean, I love the dress, is I'm not 100% sure of the hair, and we'll go back to when they start, because the hair to me seems like there's all is that it's not perfection. Like, that hair is, I shouldn't be mean, but I thought tell me, ladies, because you guys you're more into this. It was a bit like this. The hair is exactly the same energy. It's kind of like, yeah, and hear that there's that energy in his face again. I don't know. I feel, sorry, I'm just looking at face energy. I'm just feeling there's been something different about him. Oh, let's have a look at this, because this is one of those photos. Obviously, okay, this is a while ago. This is a while ago, and I don't know where this is. But what I will say about this photo, oh, I know what we should do. Let's have a look. Um, Not this one. Ah, this one. Is this in the same room? Let's have a look. And after that, like, we do have to finish up. I know everyone has a busy day ahead of them. So let's take a look at this photo. There's a mural on the wall. He's wearing this polo and these bracelets, and he's holding a baby. So let's go back a little bit. Let's go to that photo. I just wanted to just have a quick look, because something maybe jumped out at me. Is this the same? Sorry, people, let me just quickly. There's something. It's the same polo. The same bracelets. Are they the same bracelets? No, they're not the same bracelets. He's got two there and one there. Similar. But same, he loves this polo. He's really worn the shit out of it. But notice, wow, his beard's really thick. And this is, there's something, there's something eerie about this photo. So, okay, do you want to know my quick thoughts? Really stupid. Tree of life, baby. In this photo, and I feel this photo, there's something not quite right about this photo. I don't know if this is the same. It could be because we can't see the wall. Is he sleeping under the tree of life? But we've got a tobacco tree there. Like, I don't know what those plants are called. But notice the naked woman with a bun in her hair. Did Shapey model for an artist? Did Shapey model for an artist? And notice here. I don't have to say it. I know what you know. But anyway, I just thought, but there's something wrong with the hair. I don't know what it is. They could have just plumped it up a little bit. I think that's what they probably did. They plumped up the hair. But these would be taken at similar times, not on the same day, of course, because there's an extra angle. But it was obviously a photo shoot. Oh, this is Archie. Oh, I deleted it. Hang on. So so this is 7 years later. So that's Archie. So this is the UK. That's the UK. Is that the hospital? No, it must be at the house because there's a mirror. There's a mirror with something in it, but I can't. Bear with me, people. What's that? So the mirror is showing windows, I think. They look like windows with drapes. And the mirror's showing I think that is not cottage. Yes, I think that's where they were staying. So I just saw this little, there's a reflection in the mirror that I thought was quite interesting. At first I thought it might have been a butterfly or something. It's probably just an orb. Oh, I see. Frogmore or Not Cottage. But isn't Not Cottage the house is that different to Frogmore? I love this. I love zooming in. I normally do it in Photoshop, but I think this is okay. It sort of works. There's some stuff on the side of there's some stuff on the counter, not the counter, the bedside table. Oh. What are these? I'm not sure. What's that? Yeah. So obviously that to me is very reminiscent of these photos. Keep that drawing, that painting, the nude lady. The nude lady has this going on. That. Have you been nudie? I wonder if she's been nudie. Anyway, But that was, but that's so, but the other one was, so that was Archie. That's Archie. I thought, oh, it's, so this is Lily. Can you see that? Let's do this exercise again, my friends. This is Lily. This is Lily. Oh, that's Lily. Let's go back. God, you guys are so patient with me. That's Lily, and this is Archie. Huh? This is Lily, and that's Archie. Same profile. Okay, that's probably why they, same photo shoot, my opinion, same photo shoot, but that's why they plumped up his hair. One's black and white and one's color. One's black and white, one's sunset. Did you hear he called himself Sunset? He called himself, he's not Ginger, his sunset. But he's wearing his polo. He's not Ginger, he's Sunset. He's not Ginger, he's Sunset. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. My friends, until next week, what do you think? Or let me have a look. I'm going to do, I do love an energy card. Let's look. Unstop. Things are changing. So look for the change. There was no change. Look at the changes. Look for changes. Timing. Timing will tell you, like, you can't stop time. Like, you can't change, the cycles, the seasons, etc. So over a length of time, there would have been changes. In that photo of Archie and Lily, there was no change. That's what the card's warning. The same polo. They tried to alter it to make it look like time had changed. Oh, cards. I love my cards. And I love my jam stars so much. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for all the comments. And I will leave you there and enjoy your weekend. And let's touch base next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But stay tuned for some videos along the way. All right, my friends. We'll talk next week. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.